this is a quick demonstration of how to the basic functions on the Discover Media. It might be slightly different in a Skoda, for example. You might not have an app button, you will have no CD player, and you'll have a TP button there and a TMC button here, but the rest of it is the same. So with the radio, you've got FM, AM, and DAB, which you can choose. So for example, I can go to FM. I can choose my stations, move around, and to store a station, let's say I want to put in, let's say Magic. I go to station list and I find Magic. It must be there somewhere. No, it's not. So for whatever reason, I can't pick up Magic here. So let's say I will pick up Greatest Hits. So once I've got Greatest Hits selected, I can either put the arrow or I can press the radio button. And to store that in number 4, I touch 4. I don't let go until it dings and it stores it in there. The same with DAB. I can change the DAB by going here, or I can just keep flicking between FM, AM, and DAB using this button. It's the same thing. So once I've got the band I want, AM is useless, I wouldn't worry about AM. But on DAB, let's say I want to choose a station. I go to station list, and then these are all grouped together. So here we've got, for example, Magic. There we go. So Magic is playing. I get out, and I want to store it number 2. I touch 2, and I don't let go until it's stored in there, and so on. So that's the radio. With the media, you've got your USB port and your auxiliary. With the phone, I think you're aware of how to pair up your phone and you can make and receive calls. Then I think the main thing was the navigation, the built-in navigation. So with the built-in navigation, there's a few things you need to remember. One is that you can move the map around, but as soon as you do that, you get a new icon appear here, which means you're not in the center anymore. So right now I'm over here, and if I drive, I'm going to drive off here, so it's going to look like it's not working. So you must touch this to center on yourself. The other thing is you can make the map bigger and smaller. You can see the scale will change there. Again, you must center on yourself, but a much easier way to zoom is to use this button here. So if you look at this number here, the zoom, I'll change it. I can go down to 30 yards, which is a bit too close for me. I can go out all the way to 400 miles, which, as I mentioned, is completely useless because that shows you the whole of Europe. So I try to keep mine on around 75 yards. So if we keep going until we get to there, I find that the nicest scale to use. Please note that if you are around this sort of scale, you get a little line at the top. That's not a fault, that's meant to be the sky. So it's trying to give you an idea of the edge of the earth, effectively the horizon. So I go back to 75. Now, the other thing is I can press this and I can go auto. With auto zoom, it will show you a number and then it will show you a little magnifying glass at the bottom left. That means that if you go somewhere busy, it will zoom in automatically. If you go somewhere quiet, it will zoom out automatically. It will stay auto until you touch it. So as soon as I touch it, that little A disappears and it becomes manual again. To put in an address on the Skoda system, you need to go new destination. Then this needs to be on address step by step. United Kingdom, which we are in, doesn't matter. If I wanted to change the country, I can. Then you go to city, which is the same as the postcode, and then wait for it, and then you must touch the PTCD in order to put in the postcode. So once you've got the PTCD, you go to letters. Let's say I want to put in the office address, so K, T, and then number 6, and then 7, and then letters N, L. Then it shows you the preview, and once I'm happy with that, I press that and it's going to show me the fastest route. Now if you ever wanted to repeat an instruction, I'll show you that in a moment. So it's showing me the route now, and it will show up on the display between the ref candle and speedometer as well. If you ever wanted to repeat an instruction, you can press this and it will repeat an instruction. Also, that bottom of the screen, as you can see, disappears when you're not using it, but when you touch the screen, when you bring your hand here, it appears, which is a nice feature. Now I'm going to go route. I'm going to stop route guidance. Apart from that, you've got your settings on there, which again, it might look slightly different on the Skoda system, but all the settings are there for your sound and so on and so forth. And then your smart link, which is in Volkswagen, is called Apple CarPlay, which my phone is actually connected to, and that gives me my apps. Again, each app has its own set of instructions which you will need to do according to the apps you have. But that is the basic instructions. I think I've covered pretty much everything on there, but obviously if there's any questions or anything, you're welcome to call me. So navigation, please remember about this little thing. You need to make that disappear. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.